Okay, so eliminate the fractions, multiply each term by the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator, this is the question that we're dealing with here, is 12. So we multiply every term by it. Multiplying a over 3 by 12, if I think this through step by step, that's going to give me 12a over 3, right? We cool with what's happened there? And then 12 divided by 3 is 4, so this is just going to be 4a. We cool with what I've done there? Okay. And then negative 3 times 12 is? Nope. Negative 36, thank you. How about 3 over 4a times 12? Yes, Danny.
No, I have a question about a over 3.
Yes.
Because 2 at 12 you multiply 3 by 4. So could you just right away go, oh, I did that by 4, and then I multiply a by 4 and I got 4a?
Yeah, because we're at 12 divided by 3 is 4. That's how we're getting that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then this one here, you can deal with that fraction right away too. 12 divided by 4 is, and then you have to multiply by the numerator, which is a 3. 3 times 3 is. So it's going to give you 9a. And then 1/2 times 12 is 6. And it's going to be positive because it's a positive half. So there we go. Like, the fractions have now been dealt with, and now this is a question that just may as well have been on your quiz. What am I going to do? Subtract 4a on both sides. That's a good idea. Because if I do that, on the left-hand side, I'm going to have minus 36 equals, and then 9a minus 4a is 5a plus 6. So now I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. Sorry? Negative 42, yeah. Equals 5a. Divide by 5, divide by 5, and I'm going to get a equals negative 42 over 5. That fraction is not reducible nicely. Or you could call it negative 8.4, yes, if you want to convert that thing to a decimal. It's totally fine leaving it as a fraction, though. Questions about anything we did? Cool, let's do it again. Number 2. What is the lowest common denominator of 3, 2, and 6? Because those are my fractions. The lowest is 6. Cool. So again, every term gets multiplied then by 6. So then, what do I have? Someone rattle it off for me. Carolyn, I know you know. I'll give someone else a chance first. Rebecca. 2. 2 what? Careful, you got to include those variables. So 2x minus 9x equals 1 minus 6x. Cool. Comments, questions, concerns about how that happened? Okay. So now, what is our next step going to be? Carolyn. Oh, before you, well, we're not there yet. I don't see a 7x. So we're grouping these two, yeah, okay. We're going to go painful here. Okay, next. So we're going to add 7x on both sides. On the left-hand side, that leaves us with 0. You actually have to put the 0 in there. And then we're going to have what? 1 plus x. Cool. And then to finish this thing off, what do I have to do? Carolyn. X equals negative 1. Cool. Comments, questions, concerns about anything that happened there? Because when you have negative 7x and you add 7x, you have 0. You actually have to put the number there. There's not, you can't have nothing written down on one side of a mathematical equation. If there's nothing there, it's 0. Always have to have something written. If you divided, then it would have been 1, but I see that hand. Because the common denominator of 3, 2, and 6 is 6, so we multiplied every term by it to get rid of the fractions. I mean, you could have multiplied by something. We could have multiplied by 12, but then the numbers would have been a little bit bigger, but it would have been doable. Yeah, Danny?
How come you don't, like for x over 3, how come you don't go x times 2? Actually, you could do that.
That's what we did.
No, but...
That's what this is.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole point of this is to get rid of those denominators, so you actually want to do the math related there. So when you have a denominator, it's the same thing as division. So what we're going to do is we're taking our number we're multiplying it by, and we're dividing it by the denominator. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then that becomes the coefficient in front of the x. 2 times x is 2x. Do these two real quick. And then we're going to do another example right beneath here. So leave some space if you can. Okay, for number 1, what do we get? Sure, yeah, Ria, what'd you get? Negative 10 over 3, cool. And then y equals what? Question number 2. Emina. Cool. Comments, questions, concerns about either of those two, if we didn't have a chance to get them done. Sure. So, there's 2 ways we can do it. Number 1. Number 1 is actually very similar to one of the old questions that we did. If I have x over 5 equals negative 2/3, that one I could get rid of all the denominators, or I could just do what to isolate for x? I could just multiply by 5. So because I'm dividing by 5, I could just multiply by it, both sides. So I'm get 5 divided by 5 is going to be 1. So I'm going to have x equals, and then 5 times negative 2/3, 5 over 1, 2 times 5 is negative 10. 3 times 1 is 3. Or what I could have done instead is, what is the common denominator of 3 and 5? So I could multiply both of these by 15, times by 15, times by 15. Here, 15 divided by 5 is 3. So the 15 and the 5 are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with 3x equals, and then negative 2 times 15. Hold on, did I make a mistake here? Oh, no, we're good. 15 divided by 3 is 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. And then to get x by itself, I divide both sides by 3. Doesn't really matter which way you approach it. Number 1. We cool? Okay, the last one we're going to do today, because we are running out of time and I'm not going to shove the decimals a bit further forward, is this example here. Yes, Danny?
I got, for the second one, I got negative y equals 16. I did it kind of fast though.
Negative y equals 16, so then multiply by negative 1 both sides and you're done. Because you want y, you want the variable to have a coefficient of positive 1. So the last example we're going to do is this one. Please write this one down on the bottom of your page. The important thing to recognize here is something. How is this one different than what came previous? There's 2 what? In the numerator. So there's a whole object in the numerator, so we've got to be careful how we deal with this. We want to get rid of these denominators, so what is the lowest common denominator of 2 and 4? It's 4. So what we're going to do here is we're going to multiply both sides by 4, and we're going to multiply every term on both sides by 4, but how we do that is we have to be careful how we do that. So what we have to recognize is that 2n minus 3 doesn't have something, but could be written with a mathematical object. What are those mathematical objects that we could put around the numerator? Brackets. So I'm going to force them in there. I'm going to add them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply everything on both sides by 4. Well, there's only one thing here to multiply by 4. That's this whole fraction. And then this guy over here, I'm also going to multiply by 4. On the right-hand side, these are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with 3. On the left-hand side, I do what we did before. The thing that I'm multiplying by, divided by my denominator. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then I'm going to multiply the numerator by 2. In this case, what that means is I put a 2 out front of the set of brackets, and then I distribute it in. So 2 times 2n is going to be 4n, and then 2 times negative 3 is, so it's going to be minus 6 equals 3, and then I can finish this thing off. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. I'm going to get 4n equals 9. I divide both sides by 4, and n equals 9 over 4, and I'm done. We follow what happened there? Okay. You do have some homework tonight. I want you to flip ahead. Skip this. We'll come back to the decimals later. This page here, where it says double cross, this is your guys' homework. I want all y'all to do it. All y'all. That's your homework for tonight. We will finish the rest of it tomorrow. The bell's going to go here in less than a minute. You may pack up. When it goes, you may also go. We'll see you tomorrow.